see it that way, that won't see other human beings as human beings, and they don't see the ethical or the moral issues involved. And so what I've had to do is kind of say, all right, well, how can I talk to them about something that will matter to them? And how can I put this in terms that will make sense? And I say, all right, kind of what you were saying, Joe. What happens if we don't educate these kids? What happens if we say, all right, we're going to deny these bright, talented, ambitious, hardworking kids the right and the possibility of getting an education? It's not them that's just going to suffer. I mean, it's not just them that's not going to suffer from the standpoint that we're not going to be able to benefit from these future physicists, chemists, scientists, doctors, lawyers, teachers. It's not that we're not going to benefit from that, not just that, but we're going to create, as you were saying, a huge underclass of people who is uneducated, probably doesn't speak English very well because we haven't educated them. They have no options because we won't let them work. So what are they going to do? Guys, they're not going to leave. They're going to be here, and they're going to be getting older, and they're going to be getting angry. And this does impact, and if you talk to the folks who maybe won't hear you and other things, you can say those kinds of things and say, guys, you know what? You're creating a whole group of people that's really mad at you and has every right to be. And that is going to impact you. Plus, and this is just perhaps, personally, I believe we all benefit from an educated, if everybody in our society is educated. Everybody. I mean, look at the stats right now, you guys. The United States is not educating our populace. Nobody is getting educated the way that they should be. And if we are deliberately keeping people who are talented, who want to, who are anxious for an education, we're deliberately keeping them away from the possibility of an education, we are all going to suffer, not just here, but in the global economy. And we've got folks who are already bilingual, for gosh sakes. You know, this is a huge, huge deal. Let's benefit from that. Let's all of us benefit from that. So that's another thing. And, you know, right now, if we don't have an educated populace and we don't have people who have access to education, who have access to health care, which is a whole other issue, who have access to other things, you know, where do these people work? They work in the restaurant industry. They work in hotels. You don't think that doesn't affect you? Come on, guys. This affects all of us in every possible way. So even if you don't believe that you have a moral imperative, which I personally believe we do, to educate everybody here, and even if we don't believe that as a society we can all benefit from a better educated populace, which I believe we do. I mean, there are plenty of those down in the legislature who think that it would be really, really great to keep an undereducated underclass to do all the garbage work that we need to have done. And as a very wise, oh golly, I can't remember, former slave, one of the most brilliant men, brilliant minds of, thank you, Douglas, thank you very much. He once said that his slave owner once gave him one of the best lessons he ever learned. His slave owner said, you don't teach slaves to read because it makes them unfit for slavery.
All right.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We are excluding a whole population of people from education because if we educate them, it makes them unfit to be slaves. And so we need to just be thinking about that as a community and say, well, do we want to deliberately do that? I ask you. Anyway, thanks very much. A
couple of other things. I have a sign-up sheet here for anybody who wants to put their